please put your hands together for the very talented and funny Maddy Cross, everyone.
Guys, don't worry about it. Me being here is community service, right? I'm doing you all and the people backstage a favor. It's also very fun to come to a show and be the best dressed. What's going on, guys? No, I'm making fun of you. Don't clap for that. Reflect. Reflect on yourselves, please. I'm begging. It's me, your Title IX mandated female comedian. I have to be here legally, otherwise Hillary Clinton gets to repo this building, you guys. No one wants that. I want to address your concerns up top. I am aware of what I look like. I know I look like the girl who was Clara in the Nutcracker when she was 6 and is still talking about it. I know I look like the meanest receptionist at your kid's expensive Montessori school. I know what I look like. Don't come tell me after. I am well aware. It's hard to dress and have fun for, dress appropriately for my age as a plus-size person, as a fat girl. If you couldn't tell, I am fat. I'm wearing camouflage, which is the jean jacket and long skirt, so I'm keeping it a secret. It's hard because they did not have me in mind when they were making clothes. The fashion industry was not thinking of me. I am invisible in the eyes of the fashion industry and every boy I've ever had a crush on. But fortunately, I am also invisible in the eyes of male politicians who like their women to look like children. It's a win. A win is a win. I'm gonna take it and be happy with it. So I didn't really have fashion icons to look up to and to aspire to, right? So I had to make my own fun. My fashion goal is to look like a woman who had a first-class ticket on the Titanic, okay? And the water's coming in under the door, all right? And she flings open her wardrobe and just throws everything she has on her, right? To be buried at sea in her finery. When they pull my bloated corpse out of the North Atlantic, I want them to say, she had a lot of things. I mean, rest in peace and all that, but it was a short trip. That's too many things. Maybe pack better. The ship wouldn't have gone down, maybe. As a fat person, I am constantly being told by strangers to exercise, and sometimes I listen. I live in Burlington, which is the kind of town that has every kind of boutique, hip style of fitness imaginable. We have spin, we have Pilates, we have axe throwing, which they let you do while you drink alcohol. Somehow, lawyers talk to me after. But my favorite kind of quirky exercise that I've tried has been pole dancing. I need you all to hold in your shock and disgust, all right? We'll do it a little better than you're doing it now, all right? I'm not pole dancing to be sexy. It is not sexy, it's really difficult. I don't think anyone has ever looked homelier while pole dancing. I wear knee pads in class. Sometimes comics lie for the effective jokes. I'm being honest with you when I say that. I have knee pads with my initials Sharpied inside them, you guys. I don't think I'm not gonna get any better at pole dancing. I've reached my limit for skill. But I do think that if you took video of me doing my routine, you could use that as B-roll footage in a commercial for an antidepressant. At the end of the commercial when they're speed running through the side effects and they're showing you how she feels better now, you could use that video there. And if not that, I think I could be a spokeswoman for like an It Gets Better anti-bullying PSA. I have this plain, honest face and I could look dead to camera and be like, hold on, the future is waiting for you. You could do pole dancing on a Tuesday night on a hardwood floor with a bunch of supportive grandmas and queer people, all right? We're waiting for you to meet us. We can't wait. I think I could do that. I know this isn't like a PC good feeling to have, but you can probably guess I was bullied in elementary school. I look it, you can tell. And I've hated this bitch for 20 years and kept tabs on her, hoping she'll get hit by a bus. But something even better has happened, you guys. She posted some pictures on Instagram, which you should never do if there are people who have been hating you for 20 years. And I found out that she is fatter than me now. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, what a dream. I'm not kidding. I was elated when I saw this. You have no idea. I also don't think you're appreciating how mean this little cunt was to me. Sorry to the child. But I was in 2nd grade, all right, and we were talking about doing a play in the class. I was sitting in the corner, eating cheese crackers, reading a book, minding my business, and this girl, for no reason, raises her hand and goes, Miss Smith, I think Madeline should be the ugly duckling before the transformation. Wow. That is so specific and so mean from such a young child. She had to be having problems at home, you guys. That's not normal. I was keeping tabs on this girl for a while to see if I was ever going to win, right? She went to a better college than me. That was a bad start. But then she had to take a semester off to get her stomach pumped. We're back in the running, you guys, we're back. And then she graduated and she got a job with the federal government. And I was like, I don't know if I come back from that. That might be the end of the contest. And then she got laid off when the administration switched over, you guys. Win is a win. Win is a win. So I'm winning, I think, because I have this captive audience to tell you all about it. I'll tell her, if you give me $5, I will tell you her full government name after. Guys, this time last year, I had given notice at my first big girl job with nothing new lined up, which I now know you are not supposed to do. I was experiencing the worst gastrointestinal distress of my life. I was having frequent, unfulfilling sex in a walk-in freezer in one of Vermont's finest dining experiences. But I was on vacation in Europe. So, you have to look on the bright side. Now, a year later, I have a job that I like. My stomach is feeling better. I am in a loving, monogamous relationship, but I did just have a vacation in upstate New York. So, tough. I don't know how it doesn't really equal out, I guess. When I was going on this trip to Europe, I did not have a suitcase that was gonna meet the needs of this trip. And I went online to order a suitcase. I also needed to buy something for myself. I was at that point in the work cycle that you hit every 8 weeks or so, where I needed to buy myself something pretty and fun. Otherwise, I would be forced to show how big a fan of Sylvia Plath I am. That's, no one here reads? Fine. Google it later, that's fine. They'll Google it later, a little follow-up joke. And so I order this suitcase and it comes in the mail and it has locks on it. I think this suitcase is for someone in a different tax bracket because I don't have things that I need to lock up. I am a really good reader. I need you to trust me when I tell you that. So I thought I understood the instructions of how to set the lock really well. I did not. Immediately I locked myself out of this suitcase. Immediately, I finished reading it and was like, that should do it. Oh shit. Tough. I was not in a financial situation to piss away $300, so I did some research, and I found one of those YouTube channels that is run by a lightly autistic man who knows how to pick locks. God bless these men. They're the background by society. And he said, with a steak knife and some good luck, I could get myself out of the situation. And I was like, that's not my lived experience. So I did some further research, and I found out that all of these suitcases can be opened with a TSA master key. I have $9 in an Amazon account. I have 2 TSA master keys now, you guys. Anyone can buy these. We should call them something different. I, as a civilian, should not own this item. I can open all of your stuff anytime I want. Sleep with that tonight. Right, and so I did not want to buy 2 keys. They only sell them in units of 2. This is a company that has open contempt for its clientele. Because here's what they're saying to you. They're saying, not only are you dumb enough to need this product, we also are certain you are dumb enough to immediately lose the thing you bought to get yourself out of this situation. So we're going to give you a freebie, so we never have to hear from your dumb ass again. That's what that company was saying when they did that. I have a boyfriend. He's great. Been dating about 8 months. My first boyfriend. I've never had a boyfriend before. Thank you. So we are leasing to own. We're going to see how we feel about it. Or maybe we'll take him back to the dealership, depending on his behavior. What's the lemon law? I don't know. And I thought for many years that I had never had a boyfriend because I was bookish and intellectual, and men were intimidated by my big brains. It has become clear to me that the issue is that I am unfriendly and off-putting. That probably matters more. It is also weird to go from, just boning guys in walk-in freezers and sleeping with guys who would not spit on me if I was on fire to being in a loving monogamous relationship. That's a hard transition. He'll do something nice for me and it's so do I have to suck your dick now or we're in the car, can it be later, please? It turns out it can be later, and he's concerned that I asked about that, frankly. I recently lost about 40 pounds, and there are men that I slept with when I looked like Jabba the Hutt, right, who hate me for being alive. But now that I'm entering, my Jar Jar Binks era, and I've lost some of the weight, they are circling around, and they'll say things to me like, oh my gosh, are you in town this summer? I think it's so great that you do comedy that's so different, you're not like other girls, and I say, no! Leave me alone. Misa have standards now. It's a joke for the prequels kids in the audience. They were horrible films. But it's also not my fault that I'm really unfriendly and off-putting, I don't think. I went to all-girls school for 6 years, in the prime learning how to talk to boys years. So I don't know how I come. The fact that I'm speaking English to you is a miracle. It's like being raised by wolves. I also have a twin brother who is basically feral. He's not an example of a normal human man. So he wasn't helpful practice. He wants to be a doctor, and he's gotten into medicine for all the right reasons, you know, wanting power, wanting to be in control, exactly what you want. He is he's paramedic now, and he drives the ambulance, and his favorite thing about that is picking the funniest song to play while driving the ambulance. He's gotten it right a couple of times. Jesus Take the Wheel, pretty good. Move, Bitch, pretty funny. Holding Out for a Hero, Bonnie Tyler. And the reason I know he's picked these songs is because while he is driving the ambulance with a patient in the back, he is filming it on Snapchat to send to me. Yeah, don't get hurt in Charleston County, South Carolina, you guys. They are not sending their best and brightest. My brother wants to be a doctor. I think that's a bad idea, but I've been told I can't say that, and especially not at Thanksgiving, so I'll tell you. I'm pretty sure my mom is not here. Can't get me in trouble. I just wouldn't want him to be my doctor, all right? I don't want a doctor who hasn't read a book since the 8th grade. I don't want a doctor who thinks he discovered Fleetwood Mac at age 27 in 2024. Hey, check out this sick song. Yeah, Charles, that's Landslide. I thought I was born knowing that song. What are you talking about? Not things I'm looking for in a healthcare professional. He is my only sibling. My twin brother is my only sibling. I have no other brothers or sisters, which means that my parents, in baseball terms, hit a double in one. And when you are not that good at baseball, you are happy with that outcome, right? Especially if you were trying to hit a single for like 3 or 4 years, and that wasn't working. So the pitcher's mom gives the baseball team $10,000 to go see a specialist, you know, and take some expensive medicine and shots, and that doesn't address the issue. So you think maybe you need a pinch hitter, sperm donor, but the baseball team doesn't think that they are comfortable with that. So then after a lot of investigating, the baseball team finds out it's been the pitcher's fault all along. But this is the 90s, and the surgery he needs isn't widespread and known about at this time. So he goes to New York in secret to get fancy pitcher-fixing surgery. Maybe in that situation, you're happy. That's a joke for people who are gynecologists and love baseball. I have not yet found my perfect person, but I will tell that joke until I'm dead, until I find her. She's out there, I have to believe it. If you're curious how you become this kind of person, my mom is from Southern California, and she believes in nothing more than the power of eating vegetables and positive thinking and wearing sunscreen. My dad is from Washington, D.C., and he makes the dogs pray before they eat dinner. The Lord's Prayer, nothing crazy, right? He makes them recite the Our Father who art in heaven, right? That's how you end up being this kind of person. My parents are pretty wackadoodle people. I love them a lot, but they are hard to hang out with. I think we talk a lot about the generations fighting with each other. Like the boomers are mad at millennials, and Gen Z is mad at everyone, and we left Gen X at home without any food in the fridge. We're always fighting about it. My dad has some not great political opinions. A couple years ago, Gordon Liddy died. You know who that is? Cool. For those of us that don't, or who were born after 1980, Gordon Liddy is a man who was very responsible for Watergate. I think local TV is here. I'm going to say direct to camera. I think Watergate was not good. I don't think they should have done that. Gordon Liddy died, and I wanted to be funny, so I said, Gordon Liddy died. Out of respect for his memory, let's take 18.5 minutes of silence. Because that's how long the Watergate tape. Read a book, you guys. I thought that was really funny. My dad texted me back immediately, not funny. I was friends with his son, and he was a good, honest man. There are 2 sides to every story. Guys, if we're both sides in Watergate in the 21st century, I think the doors are locked and we're never getting out of here. I think the call's coming from inside the house. I think my dad was hoping that either me or my brother would follow in the... I'm not going to be able to open this, you guys. That stuff. Will you do that for me? Thanks so much. I thought that my dad's going to want one of us to follow in the family tradition. Thanks so much, darling. Appreciate it. Follow in the family tradition of employment. But since my brother's going to be a doctor, I think that falls on my shoulders, which is tough because I come from a long line of spies. I don't think I'd be good at that, because I just told you all that. And I'm confident I wasn't supposed to. I think that's a rule. That's not a joke. My dad did military intelligence at the Pentagon for 30 years, and his dad was in the Office of Strategic Services. There are grandpas here. Who knows what that was?
The Office of OSI, the CIA.
It became wonderful. It became the CIA, right? So when my granddad had to go on a work trip, he was not getting picked up in a taxi. He was getting picked up in a helicopter in the middle of the night. I write emails all day, so I don't think that's my legacy. I don't think I'm cut out for it, but I think I could do something even greater. Every year, my dad goes to the CIA headquarters to ask to see his father's personnel file. Every year, he's told no. He's going to get told no every year. If the outcome is the same every year, why not have some fun? I tell jokes. I have a hat and a mustache and a trench coat. You know? Why not do a character? I don't think there's a rule that says I can't. It's like how Airbub is allowed to play on the team, right? I don't think there's a rule that says. So I might not follow in the family tradition of espionage, but I think I'll contribute in an even more meaningful way. And be the first person ever to be banned from the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia for low-level tomfoolery. I've been Maddy Cross, you guys. Thank you so much.